Hey, what's up guys, my name is Bagel Puff or Ramen Nation, and welcome back to another. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is giving you a tutorial on how to build a castle that looks very epic in Build Battle and will convince people that it is doable. And as well, this is a very doable castle. It's not that difficult. It just takes a little bit of World Edit and World Edit Pro Tools and a little bit of practice. So once you got this down, it should be relatively easy. I also do want to give credit where credit is due. Brett O, or OK Brett, showed me this castle a while ago that he made, and I used this strategy, and by looking at his castle, I learned this strategy from him, and I was able to make my own design using this strategy, and that's how this castle was born. So I'm just showing you the basic aspects of my castle. If you want to copy it, go ahead, but I wouldn't advise that because copying is obviously not something that is looked up to, and also, you know, it's not that fun just copying other people's builds. But do start with this because this, in my opinion, is a pretty good basis for it to start on. So I'm gonna start yapping about random things now. Be sure to smash like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and enjoy. So what you want to do is start up by building a couple of pillars that are 5 blocks, well, that are 5 blocks apart and are around 9 blocks tall. So I'm giving you the dimensions of these pillars that I am building because, well, this is a tutorial and not just an inspiration. So I usually build them around 9 blocks tall and with a 5 block gap in between them. And then I do some designing on each side that repeats the same way over and over. And I also fill in the middle of this with a red block. And if you saw my video, the industrial tutorial thing, or industrial build tutorial, I don't know, I will give a link to it in the description, but pretty much on that video, if you saw that, I'm using a similar strategy to do the Pro Tools on this build. And what I'm doing right now is simply designing all the sides to be the same so that in whichever way I copy it, it will always be the same. So what I am doing is just giving it a couple of stairs and slabs. It doesn't have to be very detailed of a decoration. It just has to be repeating and the same on every single side so that this decoration that isn't way too detailed is really built up into a larger scene where there is so much of it that it looks detailed. And of course on the castle you have the top spiky thingies that I don't know what the name are of, and I just do these using stone stairs and also some anvils in between them to make them look more detailed than they actually are. So now what you do is you select the entire thing, and what I like to do is just paste them 1 block forward to the right of them. And of course you can watch Mikey Pirion's tutorial on Pro Tools about how to use them properly, and I will link that in the description as well. But pretty much I just copied it all the way across, repeating the pattern on the end and just making it a very symmetrical castle. So that's a pretty good view of what I did. And then I started working on the back part. So I started squaring out an outline or shape of these different blocks, and with this outline I am now able to just keep on pasting it across and adding in the rest of the castle. What I'm doing right here is not building the front of a castle, not building the side of a castle. It's more like a castle courtyard where you're inside of the castle and all the different buildings outside are just towering above you. I wanted to give the grand, I don't know, Lord of the Rings-esque kind of view, but not really because it's red. But yeah, once you get my point, and once you're done that, you just select the entire thing, copy it, and paste it, so like pretty much stacking it up. And once you're done with all of this, you pretty much have a castle. It's all towering, it's all menacing, and it looks really, really cool. And what I like to do is also add a little bridge in between so that it's not just completely copy-pasting 1 block, because that's a little bit too boring. So what I did is I did a little bit of designing for this bridge, having a little bridge that crosses over the 2 sides, and using a similar palette I was able to quickly build up a bridge. And once this is completely done, I think I set the grass, or I think I set the ground to grass, maybe not, I'm not sure yet, but you do want to do that because if the ground isn't grass, you won't be able to add a lot of the gardening or greenery detail to the build. And oh yeah, also a pillar to support the bridge because a pillar is really, really cool. It gives a lot more of a towering idea again with a castle, which is what makes it seem so grand or so epic of a build. And this is honestly really easy. As you can see, I'm still at around 3 minutes left, and all I have to do is build the entire greenery area of things. I'm quickly adding in a couple of gates with spruce door and just doing a quick design on top as well, because by doing this I am able to just mark out the entrance and the shape of the castle, because the castle needs a gate, a wall, and some detailed random things that make it look very medieval, and I think that is very accurate to what castles are in Build Battle. And once I lined all these gates up, now I changed the floor to grass and pulled out some leaves, some fences, and some bone meal, and I instantly started to decorate everything. You know the drill. I just take out the leaves, I take out the bone meal, I start spamming it everywhere. I add it to everything because these are probably some of the most important things in themes like this, because it looks very copy-pasted, very non-detailed right now. I add some leaves into it, boom, it's immediately this much more detailed. And thanks to a couple of other builders who I can't give credit to the right person with this because so many people do this now that it's impossible to give the right credit to the right person, but due to the feat of other builders, I was able to learn this strategy where just spam leaves everywhere. And as I said in multiple other videos, leaves are very important. So spam leaves, spam some leaves on the floor, and a very good idea for spamming leaves that look more farmy or more civilization rustic-ish is just adding some fences and maybe even hay bales to the leaves, because this gives them so much more texture because they're really detailed blocks. Fences and hay bales are both relatively detailed blocks, and it gives it a lot more texture. And there you go, my entire build is done. So here's a better view of my build during voting. Sorry, it's sped up because I was also lagging a little bit, so I didn't want to show you all this lag, so I'm just speeding up so to get rid of the lag. But yeah, as you can see, I got legendary, pretty happy with that. I'm not complaining, and also not complaining about the 98 points at the end that I got, because, well, 98 is a relatively big number with 8 players in the lobby. That's like a 12-point average, and that's pretty high. So there you go, that's my tutorial on castles. Thank you for watching all the way through. Be sure to check out Mikey Purion's video on Pro Tools. It really helps a lot with your castle or all your builds in general, because that video shows you the basics to a lot of other things. And also, just an announcement, I managed to join Tazcraft, a survival server, and I will be starting a survival series there very, very soon. And also, sorry for not uploading for 4 days, and no more alsos because now I'm going to end the video. So here's the outro. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like the video, even if you want my channel to grow. Again, thanks for watching all the way through, thanks for watching in general, and be sure to check out the videos in the end screen because those are recommended to you by YouTube, so maybe you'll like them, maybe YouTube messed up, but whatever. Thanks, goodbye, see you in the next video.